सो स्टूडेंट्स हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि ग्लूकोज के स्ट्रक्चर में क्या क्या होता है, ग्लूकोज का स्ट्रक्चर कैसे होता है। तो उसके बारे में जो रिएक्शंस थी हम लोग पहले वीडियो में वो वाली डिस्कस कर रहे थे। ये दो रिएक्शंस में डिस्कस कर चुकी थी, द प्रेजेंस ऑफ कार्बोनिल ग्रुप इन द ग्लूकोज एंड इट contains the straight chain of carbon atoms, 6 carbon atoms in its straight chain of carbon atoms in the glucose. We have proved earlier from these reactions. The next reaction is that we now confirm the presence of an aldehyde group in the glucose molecule. Like this is glucose molecule, this is a structure of glucose molecule, and we all know that aldehydes on oxidation give carboxylic acids. Uh, uh, and this reaction is very spontaneous and very fast because alcohols, primary alcohols gives aldehyde on oxidation, and then oxidation of aldehydes gives carboxylic acids. We can use a mild oxidizing agent in this with soft oxidizing agent, by using soft oxidizing agents like K2Cr2O7, KMnO4, etc. You can oxidize the aldehyde group to acidic group. So here in this reaction we are using the mild oxidizing agent bromine water, which oxidize the CHO group of this glucose molecule to COH group. Now this molecule which is formed, instead of CHO group, if COH group is present in the glucose molecule, it is called as gluconic acid, and this reaction proves the presence of a CHO group in the molecule of glucose. So it's very important reaction. In exams you will be asked that how will you prove that there is a CHO group present in a glucose molecule. Then you have to use write this reaction, that when we use mild oxidizing agents like bromine water and oxidize and try to oxidize the glucose molecule, it gives us the gluconic acid. CHO group is oxidized to COH group. The next reaction is for the confirmation of the presence of hydroxy groups in the glucose molecule. So there are 5 hydroxyl groups in the glucose molecule. You know, whenever an anhydride reacts with the alcohol, it gives acid and the ester. So this reaction we are going to use here. This is a glucose, and when we treat it with acetic anhydride, all the OH groups are converted to COCH3 group, acetate group. There will be 5 acetate groups in this molecule, and we give a pentaester and the acids, 5 acids we get from this reaction. This proves that there are 5 hydroxyl groups present in the molecule of glucose. And since we know that this glucose molecule is a stable molecule, it exists in the nature. Therefore, if 2 hydroxyl groups are present on the same carbon atom, then water molecule is removed and it becomes unstable. So these 5 OH groups are present on the different carbon atoms of the glucose molecule. So from this reaction we have proved that there are 5 hydroxyl groups present in a glucose molecule, and they are present on all hydroxyl groups are present on different carbon atoms of the glucose. The last reaction, which shows the presence of primary alcohol group in the glucose. This is there are 5 alcohol groups in glucose, as you know, but this one, the last one, is the primary alcoholic group, because the OH group is attached to the carbon atom, which is again attached to one more carbon atom. So this is primary alcoholic group, and all the other alcoholic group are secondary, because the carbon atom to which they are attached to 2 other carbon atoms, one in upward direction and another in downward direction. So they are attached with 2 carbon atoms. So they are secondary alcoholic group, and this is the primary alcoholic group. And you know, when we do the oxidation of primary alcohols, they give acids, and you have to do with strong oxidizing agent. This oxidation you have to do with strong oxidizing agent, like consider HNO3, When you treat this glucose molecule with concentrated HNO3, then primary alcohol gets oxidized to COH group, and COH is on oxidation gives the carboxylic acid. So whether you do the oxidation of gluconic acid or you do the oxidation of the glucose molecule, both will yield the saccharic acid. Saccharic acid is nothing but, in a glucose molecule, if you replace CHO group by COH group and the primary alcoholic group, primary alcohol, last carbon containing primary alcohol group to COH group, there are two COH groups in the saccharic acid, or it is also called as glucaric acid. So this reaction will indicate the presence of primary alcoholic group in the glucose, which is only one, and there are four other secondary alcoholic group. Secondary alcoholic group do not oxidize to COH. So this is a very important reaction. You may be asked that how will you prove that there is a primary alcoholic group present in a glucose? So you have to do oxidation with the concentrated HNO3, which gives glucaric acid. So up to here you have learned so many reactions in which you confirms the presence of what the glucose structure may contain. It has hydroxyl groups, it has CHO group present in it, it has 6 carbon chain, which is a carbon in which the carbon is connected in a straight chain. So you have proved all these things, presence of carbonyl group. So this is a very important part of this chapter, that how will you prove the structure of glucose contains all these things. So you give the proof by taking different reactions as an example. Like in NCERT, it is given here. If you want to see the question, which type of questions may come from this, so it's very important question of NCERT. What happens when D-glucose is treated with the following reagents? When you treat D-glucose with HI, with bromine water, HNO3, you know, when you treat with D-glucose with HI, then you get the alkane. This proves that the carbon in the glucose are connected in a straight chain. When you treat D-glucose with bromine water, the CHO group is oxidized to COH. This proves the presence of CHO group in the glucose molecule. And when you treat glucose with concentrated HNO3, then it is oxidized to saccharic acid, glucaric acid, which shows the presence of primary alcoholic group in the glucose. This type of questions may be asked from this information. Now the Fischer gave the arrangement of glucose, how the atoms are arranged in a glucose molecule. Fischer was the first who gave the spatial arrangement of the glucose molecule. So this is the basic structure of the glucose, in which there is aldehyde group present on the first carbon atom. Then on second carbon atom, OH is placed here and H is placed here. Next carbon atom, H is placed here and OH is placed here. And then two OH groups on the right hand side and H on the left hand side, and there is a CH2OH group on the last carbon atom. So there are 4 chiral carbon atoms present in the glucose molecule. If you see this carbon, then it is attached with CHO group, and from here it is attached with OH group. Here it is attached with H, and here it is attached with this whole group. So it is a chiral carbon. In similar way, this carbon, there are 4 chiral carbons present in a glucose molecule. So we have already studied that carbohydrates are optically active compounds. So you can see from here that they have chiral carbon present in the glucose molecule, so they show the optical activity. Now this is the structure of gluconic acid, and this is the structure of glucaric acid. So you should practice the structure of glucose. This is the structure of glucose. Now glucose is correctly named as D plus glucose. D plus glucose, you commonly called glucose as D plus glucose. The plus form shows that it is a dextrorotatory. Dextrorotatory means that it rotates the plane. It is an optically active compound, and it rotates the plane polarized light towards the right. So this plus sign shows that glucose is a dextrorotatory, and instead of plus you use small d for dextrorotatory action. But this D, capital D, is not for dextrorotatory action of the glucose. It shows the structure of the glucose, configuration of the glucose, how the atoms are arranged in the glucose. For this, if you want to know what is the D and L forms, there are basically two forms, D and L forms of glucose. So you have to move. First, you have to see the simplest carbohydrate, which is this glyceraldehyde. It is three carbons are connected in a chain in glyceraldehyde, and this is the arrangement of glyceraldehyde. OH group on the right hand side and H on the left hand side, CHO on the top and CH2OH on the bottom. This is the simplest glyceraldehyde. So if OH group is attached to the right hand side, it is called as plus glyceraldehyde or the D-glyceraldehyde, D form. And if the OH group is attached on the left hand side, it is called as L form. So it is very important here, on the last chiral carbon atom where the OH group is placed, whether it is on the right hand side or on the left hand side of the molecule, it is they are called the D and L forms of the glyceraldehyde. In the same way, when you have to confirm the D and L form of glucose, then you have to see the last chiral carbon atom of the glucose. Last chiral carbon atom, mind it, you have to watch the last chiral carbon atom. If the OH group is present on the right hand side, then it is called the D form of glucose, and if OH is placed on the left hand side in glucose, it is called as L form of glucose. So you can draw the structures like this. As I have already told you that this plus means dextrorotatory nature of the glucose. It rotates the plane polarized light PPL towards the right hand side. Glucose is dextrorotatory in nature. So up to here it is discussed that the D form of glucose is derived from the D-glyceraldehyde forms, which is the simplest carbohydrate present in the nature, glyceraldehyde. Now in this section, we will look at the cyclic structure of the glucose. As I have mentioned earlier that there is a CHO group present on the glucose, but there are some reactions and there were some tests which were not given by the glucose, which aldehydes give. This CHO gives some tests or some reactions which it comes to see that glucose is not giving these tests of free aldehyde group. So if the free aldehyde group is present in this structure, then why the glucose is not giving this test? So there was a reason behind it, and the reason was that the CHO group of this glucose molecule is involved in a cyclic structure. It takes the form of a cyclic structure in a glucose, and then it does not give these reactions. So we will now concentrate on the reactions which glucose fails to give instead of having the CHO group. The reactions which will now prove that there were no free CHO group present in the glucose. Now you all know that if we treat Skiff base plus aldehyde, if we treat aldehyde with the Skiff base, which is a colorless solution, it gives a dark red PPT. But when the glucose is treated with a Skiff base, it does not give any such PPT. It does not reacted anything. So this glucose does not give this test. It proves that glucose has no free CHO group present in it from this reaction. And in nucleophilic addition reactions, we have studied that aldehydes plus hydrogen sulfide NaHSO3. Hydrogen sulfide, when aldehydes reacts with hydrogen sulfide NaHSO3 in nucleophilic addition reactions, we get addition products, white crystalline products. And the reaction was this, that when a carbonyl group is treated with NaHSO3, then it gives such type of addition products, white crystalline products, which was the uh, which shows the presence of free aldehydic group in the molecule. But glucose again does not give this test. And the third reaction was that the pentaacetate of glucose does not react with hydroxylamine, which also shows that there is no free CHO group is present in the glucose. The CHO group of the glucose is involved in making the cyclic structure of the glucose. From there, two other forms of glucose comes into existence, which are called as alpha form or beta form. The two other forms of glucose, alpha and beta form, came into existence due to these failures of glucose molecule not giving these tests. So first of all, you should try to learn very important concept, that how the alpha and beta forms are formed from the glucose molecule. Now, if you will concentrate that this is a molecule of glucose, CHO group is present on the uppermost side. Then there are 4 chiral carbon atoms, OH group and H groups are arranged in this. I have told you earlier, and there is a primary alcoholic group present in it. In the cyclic form, the last OH group present in the last chiral carbon, it reacts with the carbon of the carbonyl group, and the H reacts with the oxygen of this. It attains the partial positive and it attains the partial negative charge. O get attached with this carbon and H gets attached to this carbon. Then this form comes into existence. This carbon is attached to the last carbon with the O, and this hydrogen is connected to the oxygen of the carbonyl group this. So you have to practice this form. Then this is the first aldehydic carbon of the glucose. This carbon number 1, and this is also carbon number 1. This carbon number 2, this carbon number 3, 4, and this is 5, and this is 6. 6 carbon atoms are attached in the glucose. This first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth, fifth, and sixth. So the arrangement will all the other 4 carbon atoms will have the same arrangement. Instead, this carbon is attached to the first carbon with the oxygen atom, and the last carbon remains as such, CH2OH. Then alpha form, then this is the cyclic form of the glucose. Now from here, 2 forms you can make from these 2 forms. When the OH group comes inside the ring of the glucose, cyclic glucose, this OH comes inside the ring, then this is called as the alpha form of the glucose. When the OH form is outside the ring and hydrogen comes this side of the ring, then it is called the beta form of the glucose. So it is alpha glucose and this is beta glucose. So one has to practice these forms very carefully, and these forms are very important. The cyclic structure of glucose is very important. Now one thing, there are some general properties written over here of alpha and beta forms of glucose. The alpha form of glucose, melting point of alpha form of glucose is 419 Kelvin, and it is formed by the crystallization from concentrated solution of glucose at 303 Kelvin. And the beta form has melting point 423 Kelvin, and it is obtained as the crystallization from hot and saturated aqueous solution of 371 Kelvin. So these things you should learn from the book of alpha and beta forms of glucose.